back to Arts for All. I'm Leah. It's so good to be back with all of you today. Our unit is called It's Okay to Be Different, and today we're going to be talking about how awesome it is to be ourselves, how we feel. So let's go ahead and get started with our first activity. We'll be doing a listening exercise and then we'll jump right into our story. Ready? Let's go. This is our listening activity. I will play you a sound and then you will guess what the sound is. Ready to get started? Here we go. Here's our first sound. Good. What do you think that is? A car horn. Good. Ready? What animal was that? A sheep. Netflix. You're right. Here we go. So that sound was rain. Okay, and the next? So that is wind. A soda pop or a soda can. Yeah, what sound is that? A microwave. Okay, one more. Drums! You're exactly right. Very good, and thank you for participating. Well, now we're going to move on to our text. The name of our text for today is It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity by Theresa Thorn and Noah Grigni. Today we'll see a lot of new words. Our first word for today is gender identity. That's a lot to say, so let's break it up. Can you say gender? Good. Identity. Yeah, and we've been talking about a lot about identity, how we see ourselves, how we feel. And gender is the way that we feel on the inside. It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity, written by Theresa Thorn, illustrated by Noah Grigni. It feels good to be yourself. This is Ruthie. She's a transgender girl. That means when she was born, everyone thought she was a boy until she grew a little older, old enough to tell everyone that she's actually a girl. Girl is Ruthie's gender identity. Yes, Ruthie, from our story, is a girl. Her gender identity is girl. She's transgender because the way that she feels, a girl, is different from what the doctors and her parents chose for her when she was a baby. They chose boy, and Ruthie is a girl. She feels like a girl. This is Ruthie's brother, Xavier. Xavier is a cisgender boy. That means when Xavier was born, everyone thought he was a boy, and as he grew older, it turned out everyone was right. He is a boy. Boy is Xavier's gender identity. So now we have Xavier. Xavier is Ruthie's brother, right? Ruthie's brother, and he identifies as a boy. So our next word is cisgender. His parents and the doctors, when he was born, thought that he was a boy, and Xavier feels like a boy. So his gender identity, the way that he feels, is a boy. And he's cisgender because the doctors and his parents chose the way that he feels. I am also cisgendered like Xavier. When I was born, doctors, my parents had a clue that I was a girl, and so they chose that I was a girl. And my gender identity is girl. There are so many different ways to be a boy or a girl, too many to fit in a book, but not everyone feels like either a boy or a girl. Non-binary is a helpful word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. Our next word is non-binary. First, let's look at binary. Bi means two. It's a prefix, and it means two. Many people think about gender, the way that we feel, as in boy and girl. Gender is very fluid. In fact, it goes on and on and on. It doesn't have a start or an end. So there are more options than just boy and girl. So for someone who is non-binary, they don't feel like just boy or just girl. This is Ruthie's friend Alex. Alex is both a boy and a girl. When Alex was born, everyone thought Alex was a girl, but Alex is both boy and girl. This is Alex's gender identity. So here is Alex from our story. Alex is a boy and a girl. This is how Alex feels. This is Alex's gender identity. And Alex is non-binary. This is Alex's friend, JJ. JJ is neither a boy nor a girl. Ever since JJ was very little, they never felt exactly like a boy or a girl. They just felt like themselves. This is JJ's gender identity. Here is JJ. Okay, so let's see if we remember. JJ is not a boy. JJ is not a girl. JJ does not feel like a boy or a girl. This is JJ's gender identity. Alex and JJ are both non-binary. Just like there are many different ways to be a boy or a girl, there are many different ways to be non-binary, too many to fit in a book. Some kids feel like girls, some kids feel like boys, some kids feel like a little bit of both, part boy, part girl. Some kids don't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. They feel like neither. Some kids feel that their gender identity isn't always the same. It's often changing. You have permission to be whoever you feel on the inside to be. And you can change that whenever you feel like it. It's all up to you. It's how you feel. And even with all these possible ways to be, some kids don't feel like any of the words they know fit them exactly right. There are a never-ending number of ways to be yourself in the world. Whether you feel like a boy, a girl, both, or neither, or if you describe yourself another way, that is your gender identity. Your gender identity might match what people thought you were when you were born, or it might not. See, when you were born, you couldn't tell people who you were or how you felt. They looked at you and made a guess. Maybe they got it right. Maybe they got it wrong. Why do you think that babies cannot share the way that they feel? Yeah, because babies don't have the language and the vocabulary to talk to adults and their parents and their guardians to tell them how they feel on the inside. So sometimes the doctor and the parent may have guessed right, and sometimes the parent and the guardian or the doctor may guess wrong. What a baby's body looks like when they're born can be a clue to what the baby's gender will be, but not always. When people guess wrong, it's okay to let them know. Ruthie was 5 when she told her parents, "I know you think I'm a boy, but really I feel like a girl." Oops, Ruthie was a girl all along. They just didn't know it at first. How can we describe Ruthie's family on this page? If we look at that picture and we see that Ruthie has told her parents that they guessed wrong, and we see that they're hugging, how would we describe that family? Yeah, I would say they are a loving family. They are an accepting family. They understand that that their guess was wrong, and they accept Ruthie as she is. When people guess right, it's also okay to let them know. Xavier was 3.5 when he told his family, "I'm a boy. I like being a boy." You might feel like a boy. You might feel like a girl. You might feel like both boy and girl, or like neither. You might feel like your gender changes from day to day or from year to year. You might feel that none of those words describes you perfectly. You might not be sure yet. Maybe you're still figuring it out. What's your gender identity? So if we think about our characters, we have transgender, girl. We have neither boy nor girl, non-binary. This is JJ. We have girl and boy, Alex. And we have cisgender, boy. So what is your gender identity? Are you transgender? Are you non-binary, a boy and a girl, or neither a boy nor a girl? Are you a boy or are you a girl? How do you feel? It's up to you to decide. Okay, can't wait to hear. And maybe you don't know, and it's perfectly fine not to know. Not knowing is a great answer because we have the space and the time to figure it out. Your feelings about your gender are real. Listen to your heart. No matter what your gender identity is, you are okay exactly the way you are, and you are loved. It feels good to be yourself, doesn't it? So I want us to repeat these words. Ready? I am okay exactly how I am. Very good. Ready? I am loved. Yeah, you are loved. You are who you are to be. You have permission to change. You can be boy, girl, girl and boy, neither boy nor girl, or no label. It's about how you feel on the inside, whenever you feel it, okay? In life, we may meet people who do not understand our gender identity, right? When we talk about gender identity, we have binary, non-binary, cisgender, transgender, and many other names. We may meet people who don't understand. We may meet people who do not agree. But it's important that we draw close to people who love us, to people who see us, and to people who will stand by us. We are enough. We are who we are supposed to be. And trusting and believing and listening to the voice inside of you will help guide you to who you are and who you are to be whenever you want to be. So, we're going to move on to our craft, and we're going to be making gender snow people. Ready? Let's go. So for our activity today, we will be making a gender snow person. So here I'm going to write gender snow person. And you can draw this gender snow person in your notebook if you'd like. Now remember, gender, like gender identity, is how we feel. And we say snow person because we don't know how this person feels. We can't just say what a person is when we look at them. It's important to name a person how they identify and how they feel. Here in our bottom circle, this is a person's sex assigned at birth. What the doctor or our parents thought. This is the clue that they had. And that could mean girl, boy, or intersex. And the pronouns that some people use are she, he, or they. And there are many more pronouns and there are many more ways to talk about the sex. In the middle here, we are going to take this color and draw a heart. All right. Now this represents who we love, or who we respect. Think about who we love, who we respect, who we like in our families, in our communities. Think about who we love. And here at the top, this represents who we are. Okay, how we feel. So how we feel in our minds and how we feel in our hearts make up our gender identity. I feel like a girl in my mind and I feel like a girl in my heart, and I am a girl. But before we continue, remember, there's one more part that's called gender expression. And our gender expression could be the way that we wear our hair and the way that we dress. Let's start with Alex. Our story told us that Alex's sex was that of a girl when Alex was born. Okay? But when we think about how Alex feels in their mind and in their heart, Alex said, I am a girl and a boy. So this is Alex's gender identity. Alex is a girl and Alex is a boy. So when we think about gender expression, this is how Alex wears their hair. And in our story, Alex is wearing pants. Another day, Alex may decide to wear a skirt. It's definitely up to Alex. So here I'm just going to add a pair of pants. How might Ruthie's snow person be different from that of Alex's in our text? Well, Ruthie is a girl. Ruthie feels in the heart and in the mind like a girl. And so while Ruthie's parents and the doctors made a mistake, Ruthie is not a boy. Ruthie's gender identity is a girl. And Ruthie's parents and her family accept Ruthie as a girl. Whereas with Alex was chosen to be a girl, but Alex's gender identity is non-binary because Alex is a girl and a boy. So here, Alex is wearing pants. For Ruthie's gender expression, what might Ruthie wear? Ruthie might wear a skirt, or Ruthie, I wanted to draw, here's my blue. Ruthie might wear a skirt, or Ruthie might wear pants, or shorts. Okay? So when I was born, the doctors and my parents chose that I was a girl. And in my mind and in my heart, I feel like a girl. So girl is my gender identity. This matches what my parents and the doctors chose. Now, here in my heart, this decides who I love, who I like, who I'm attracted to. Okay? And here, these are pronouns. So my pronoun is she. Okay? And again, my sex is girl. And my gender identity is also girl. So for my gender expression, I drew my hair. This is how I wear my hair. And I drew pants. I can also wear skirts and dresses and suits. Okay? Now, I cannot wait to see what your gender snow people will look like. It feels good to be yourself, doesn't it? Whether you are non-binary, whether you are transgender, whether you are a boy, whether you are a girl, whether you are neither, whether you are figuring it out. It is okay, it is great, it is good to be yourself, to be how you feel here in your heart and how you feel in your mind. And that can change from day to day and from year to year. You are loved, you are valuable. I love your differences. We are here to celebrate them. So we have come to the end of our lesson, and I would love for you to sing different with me. Are you ready? Different colors, different faces, different countries, different names, different clothes and different customs, but our hearts are the same. But our hearts are the same. You have been fantastic. Please remember that your identity, your gender identity, is what you feel here and what you feel here, and no one can tell you what it is. You are special, you are wonderful, you are loved. I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye!